The first Fujianese arrived in New York in the 1940s. They were mostly seamen who had escaped from China and made their way to the United States to stay illegally. Their attempts to bring their families led to the rise of snakeheads and the smuggling of people. The Fujianese population steadily grew. Economic opportunities as busboys and seamstresses reached the villages in Fuso, creating attraction to New York City. Many rural Fujianese made their way to America by means of clauses in immigration laws or illegal smuggling.
I'm from a small village outside of Fuzhou. Everybody in the village was poor, my family especially. Sometimes we did not even have enough to eat. I used to go to school, but I had to stop at a young age because I had to work. In my village, if you are born with no money, you will die with no money. It is obvious that I had no future there. I remember hearing stories of America in my village. This is because some people in my village had already left. They must have paid a lot of money to the smugglers, but now they have enough money to send back to the village. With the money they send, they also send stories of greatness of America and the opportunities that it offers. I then decided that I would leave too. I came to America in 2004. I made a deal with the snakeheads to bring me here. I owe the snakeheads $60,000, which I have to pay off over time, plus a lot of interest. My journey was 3 months long. With fake documents, I and 4 others from my village flew to Hong Kong, then the Philippines, where we stayed for almost a month. Then we were sent to Brazil and then Mexico. At Mexico, we crossed the mountains with the coyotes and the other Central American immigrants, as this was a network of illegal smuggling. When we finally got to America, many of those who I met along the way were no longer with us. It was a struggle. I did not bathe in weeks or eat steady meals. My legs and arms hurt so much from sleeping in the cramped vessels and on the mountains, but I knew I was a lucky one. From the border, they flew me out to New York City. The snakeheads took me. They were looking for their first payment. I had to find an old friend of my parents from my village. He agreed to help me pay off my debt and gave me a place to stay for a while. He even directed me to a place where I can find a job. I found a job as a dishwasher, where I make $800 to $900 a month. Sometimes I don't get paid on time, but I still feel fortunate. Others have to leave New York City and go far away to find jobs. Well, I contribute some of my money to my parents' rent for rent and food. Most of the rest of my money goes to the snakeheads collectors who come every month. If I don't pay them, I don't know what will happen to me, so I always make sure that I can. I save whatever I have left. A friend from work invited me to his church. Over time, I made friends that either knew my parents or knew someone from my village. This made my experience in New York a lot more comfortable. They were very supportive. They helped me find new jobs and new places to live, as well as help me acclimate to the new surroundings that I was facing. Now I make more than $1,000 a month. I moved out of my parents' friend's house to a 1-bedroom apartment, which I share with 3 friends from church. I've never been to church before, but now I know that without church, then I can have no faith. So now I donate a lot of money to church. But life is still hard. It seems my debt will never go away, and snakeheads keep coming. Sometimes I feel trapped by Chinatown as if I'll never be able to leave. It's even worse for my friends, though. 2 have a child that they cannot take care of. The baby has to be sent back to China to live with their parents until he gets older. My friends have to pay $1,000 for this. It is even worse when one of us gets sick. We cannot get sick because there's nobody to take care of us except for each other. If we are sick, we cannot work. And if we cannot work, we cannot pay off our debts. If I stayed in China, I will always be poor, and my kids would be poor too. Here I may still be poor, but my kids may not have to be. If they are born here, then they can learn English and assimilate and have a brighter life. I heard from a friend that kids can even go to college for free and get computers for free here.
It's a lie, it's a lie.
My American dream is not for me to become rich, but for my children too.
And that concludes our tour of the museum.